Hey everyone, how's it going? My name's Cloud, and welcome to my personal VOD reviews of Locals. In this episode, we'll be taking a look at Game 1 of Week 7 for the OP11 Meta, where I played Purple Black Luffy versus Green Purple Luffy. Here's the deck list that I played in this match, and if you haven't already done so, please go check out the Locals retro video I made that covers this deck list and my overall thoughts on how Locals went this week. Without further ado, let's hop into the game. Game number 1 for Week 7 of the OP11 Meta, I'm playing Purple Black Luffy versus Green Purple Luffy. And specifically, I'm playing against Kuro TCG, who's a very strong player, so we'll see how we do today against him. This matchup is actually quite even from my perspective. Green Purple Luffy, while yes he can become a 6k power leader for a majority of the game, if I'm able to establish my 6 cost beer Luffy, then my leader can become a 7k base leader for the majority of the game, which will hopefully help me contest in this matchup. So that's going to be my game plan for today, just trying to get the beer Luffy out as soon as possible, protect it on board, and try to fight back against anything he plays out. Going into the dice roll, high roll as usual, I'm going to roll a 10. And my opponent is going to roll a 7, so I get to pick turn order. And I do believe I picked second here, and the reason for that is because when you're playing Purple Black Luffy and you have Beer Luffy in the deck list, you typically want to go second so that you can get to your 6 Dawn first and meet the requirement that your opponent is at 5 Dawn or more in order for Beer Luffy to be active right away. I know that Green Purple Luffy does go up and down Dawn quite often, but since I know that Green Purple Luffy likes to play the 5 cost Sanji and Pudding, I'm hoping that they're going to get to their 5 Dawn turn first, so that's why I'm going second here. Let's take a look at our initial starting hand. We've got 2 cost Nico Robin, 3 cost Zoro, 3 cost Robin, 3 cost Black Maria, and 6 cost Luffy. Let's do our counter check. We've got a 1k, a 2k, a 2k, and a 1k. Not bad at all. In total, we have 6k counter in our hand, which is a very nice number, you know. I'm also really liking that we've got a good spread of 1ks and 2ks, so in terms of counter, we're doing great. Looking at the cards in hand, because I am playing Purple Black Luffy, he's got a lot of interesting ramp tools, and I know I want to be ramping early on, so I'm going to be looking for my ramp cards, and fortunately, I see all 3 ramp cards in my hand. So before we go into each one of them, let's actually look at my leader, which is Purple Black Luffy. Purple Black Luffy is a 5k strike leader with 1 Dawn that says all of your characters gain +1 cost, and then your turn, once per turn, when 2 or more Dawn cards on your field are returned to your Dawn deck, add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and set it as active, and add up to 1 additional Dawn card and rest it. So you can see that every time I return 2 or more Dawn cards, I actually get 2 back. So one of them comes back rested and one of them comes back active. And so a lot of the ramp cards in my deck do return 2 Dawn in order to get this effect off. So now that we've looked at that, let's take a look at the first card here that we have for our ramp, and that is the 3 cost Zoro. This card has been around since OP09 and it's been the staple in this deck, but it is an important ramp tool, so let's take a look. Rononoa Zoro is a purple 3 cost 5k power slash character with no counter that says, on play, you may return 1 or more Dawn cards from your field to your Dawn deck. Add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and set it as active. So you can see with this card, how it works in this deck is that you choose to return 2 Dawn, and then from the Zoro ability, you'll get 1 back. And then because of the leader ability that we just talked about, we'll actually get 2 more back, 1 as rested and 1 as active. And in total, we're gonna get 3 Dawn back from our Dawn deck. So we actually go +1 in Dawn since we only return 2, but we get 3 back. And that is essentially how this deck ramps. So I'm really happy to see the 3 cost Zoro in hand. The next card that I'm happy to see is the 3 cost Nico Robin. So this is a new card that came from Starter Deck, I think it's 26. Yeah, Starter Deck 26. And it essentially has the exact same effect as 3 cost Zoro. So Nico Robin is a purple 3-cost 4k power strike character with 2k counter that says, on play, Dawn -2, add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and set it as active. So you can see, same exact effect, same idea, -2 Dawn, and then we'll eventually get 3 back thanks to leader ability plus Nico Robin's ability. The nice thing is that Nico Robin is actually a 2k, so 2k counter specifically. So it's a really versatile card in hand. I can use it for counter, or I can use it for ramp. It doesn't have a 5k stat line like the Zoro does, but still, that's a very good card. The last card to talk about is the 3 costs Black Maria. So you might not think that this card is a ramp card, but in this deck, it actually is. So let's take a look at Black Maria as well. Black Maria is a purple 3-cost 2k power special character with 2k counter that says activate main once per turn. If you have no other Black Maria characters, add up to 5 Dawn cards from your Dawn deck and rest them. Then at the end of this turn, return Dawn cards from your field to your Dawn deck until you have the same number of Dawn cards on your field as your opponent. And so it's kind of hard to imagine here, so let me draw it out for you. We're going to use the turn order that we have currently. So my opponent is going to start off with 1 Dawn. He's going to pass to me. I will go up to 2 Dawn. Then eventually I'll pass back to my opponent. They will go up to 3 Dawn. And then they'll pass back to me eventually, and I'll go up to 4 Dawn. And it's at this point I have enough Dawn to play the Black Maria, right? So I'll tap 3 Dawn, play out the Black Maria, and from Black Maria's effect, I will gain 5 Dawn as rested. So I go up to a total of 9 Dawn. Sucks that I can't use it, but you know, that's how you balance it. Now I can do whatever I want my turn, but by the time I am ready to end my turn, Black Maria's effect activates and I have to go down equal to whatever amount my opponent has. And so you can see here that my opponent has 3 Dawn, so I will go down to 3 Dawn. But because when you end your turn, it's still technically your turn, Monkey D. Luffy, my leader's effect, goes off. And so because I returned, 2 or more Dawn, in fact I returned 6 Dawn, I will get 2 Dawn back, 1 as active and 1 as rested. So I'll actually go back up to 5 Dawn. And you can see that from where we started at 4 Dawn, we ended up ending the turn with 5 Dawn. So we get that +1 difference. And that's how Black Maria ramps in this deck. It doesn't work any turn past this turn because you can see here that if we continue the count, I will pass back to my opponent. They're going to go up to 5 Dawn. They're going to pass back to me. Because I'm at 5, I will go up to 7 Dawn. And if I choose to play Black Maria, or if she's already on the field and I choose to activate her effect again, I'm going to go up to 10 Dawn. But then I have to go back down to whatever my opponent is, which is 5. So I'd go back down to 5. And then from Luffy's ability, I'll just gain 1 active and 1 rested. And I'll go back up to 7. And you can see that there was no ramp happening here. So that's why Black Maria is a little bit conditional. She can only really ramp on your second turn when you have enough Dawn to play her. And it works whether I'm going first or second. So just keeping that in mind, it's still a nice card. It's still a 2k counter. And depending on what your deck is, it can help you recover Dawn later into the game. So I know that was a little long, but these ramp tools are very important. So I'm really glad I got to see all 3. It sucks that I don't have a Searcher in hand or the Beer Luffy because I know how important the Beer Luffy is in my game plan for this matchup. So that is a big reason why I think I could mulligan here, trying to find the Searcher in order to search out the Beer Luffy, or just trying to mulligan to try to get the Beer Luffy in hand. But otherwise, this is a great hand. We've got enough ramp, we've got enough counter. We have 1 top end, which isn't too bad. So let's see what we end up doing. And it looks like I end up keeping my hand, and so does my opponent. So fist bump to start the game. My opponent's gonna go to 1 Dawn. I'm gonna draw. He's gonna pass a turn. I'm gonna draw for turn. I drew a Gum Gum Lightning, and then I have 2 Dawn. I'm gonna tap the 2 Dawn to play the 2-cost Nico Robin blocker. I pass my turn to my opponent. He draws for turn and goes up to 3 Dawn. And he's gonna tap 1 Dawn to play the When You're at Sea, You Fight Pirates to search his top deck for a Straw Hat, Hearts, or Kid Pirates, and he chose the 5-cost Sanji Pudding. He then taps 1 more Dawn to play out the 1-cost Nami to go searching again, And this time he finds the 3-cost Frankie from EV02, a very good card for him. With his last Dawn, he's going to attach it to leader and go 6k at my life. So 6 to 5, I have to give a 2k to counter, and I chose to give up the Black Maria. He ends his turn, passes back to me, I draw for turn, it's another Black Maria, and I go up to 4 Dawn. And now this is the turn I can start ramping. So we choose to start off with a 5k swing with leader to my opponent's life, which they take. Then I tap 3 Dawn to play out the Rononoa Zoro. I'm going to go ahead and return 2 Dawn, then Zoro's ability I get 1 active, and then from my leader ability I gain 1 active and 1 rested. And I'm back to 3 Dawn active, but I have 5 Dawn total. And here, I'm interestingly enough, choosing to attach 3 Dawn to my blocker Robin, making her a 5k and go 5k at my opponent's life, and they choose to take. So I'm going to pause real quick. Let's talk about that play. Normally, when you're playing Purple Black Luffy, a common, turn sequencing here is you actually wait to attack with your leader. You play the Zoro first, you're going to get back your Dawn, and then in this case I got 3 Dawn still active, and I could have done an 8k swing with my leader, which isn't too bad. But against Green Purple Luffy, I know that past this turn, they're going to be starting to hit that 6k power base for their leader, right? Meaning that any 5k swings I have won't be as effective. And so I'm choosing to attack here with my Nico Robin as well by attaching my last 3 Dawn to her to try to apply some pressure to my opponent's life or to my opponent's hand. 2 5k swings at the beginning of the game can be very annoying to deal with, right? They either have to give up the 1ks that they have in hand to counter both, or in this case, as you can see, they take 2 life and now they're somehow down to 2 life already. This means that I can continuously hopefully pressure their life later on to the game, so that is why I did that there. But I did end up losing my blocker, which sucks a little bit. So we'll see if that comes to, bite me in the butt later. I pass back to my opponent. They're going to draw for turn and go up to 5 Dawn. And as predicted, they're going to attack 2k with their Nami into my 2k Nico Robin, and I have to let it go. No point of countering that. Then they tap all 5 of their Dawn to play the Sanjian Pudding, and this is a very good card for Green Purple Luffy. I know you've seen it, but for those who haven't yet, let's go ahead and take a look at the card. And pull it up here. Sanjian Pudding is a purple 5-cost 7k power. I think that's strike, and I always forget what green is. Green is, I think, wisdom. Let me see here, 1 second. The card that I'm looking at right now on my side screen is not showing me what green is. I can just find one real quickly. Yes, it is wisdom. So, sorry about that. Strike in wisdom, no counter, and says, your turn once per turn. When 2 or more of your Dawn cards are returned to your Dawn deck, set up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck as active. And then on play, if the number of Dawn cards are equal to or less than your opponent's, draw 1 card. And in this case, I'm at 5 Dawn, my opponent is at 5 Dawn, so by playing out the Sanjian Pudding, they were able to draw 1. And then now they're choosing to activate Green Purple Luffy's leader ability. I'll put it up on screen, but essentially he's able to -2 Dawn and then set 2 of his rested Dawn as active. So he's about to do that. Yep, -2. He's gonna get 2 back as active. And then because he minuses 2 Dawn, he can use Sanji's and Pudding's effect to ramp 1 more Dawn. He goes 5k at my life with his leader, and I have to take that. And then he taps his last 3 Dawn to play out the Frankie. Frankie's another good card, so I'm actually going to pull that card up right now as well. There's going to be a lot of cards being pulled up right now. So, Frankie is a purple 3-cost 4k power strike character with 1k counter that says, on play / when attacking, if your leader has the Straw Hat Crew type and the number of Dawn cards on your board are equal to or less than your opponent, set up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck as rested. And so this is very important for Green Purple Luffy because they minus Dawn a lot. Just now, my opponent minuses 2 Dawn, so they went from 5 Dawn down to 3. And then because that means they're less than the number of Dawn I have, they actually get to ramp back up. They did get 1 back active, sorry I forgot to mention this, from Sanjian Pudding, so they are at 4. but they're still less than me, so by playing out the Frankie, they actually went back to 5 Dawn total. And then it looks like they're passing their turn, so we're gonna go back to me. I will refresh. And that's right, because Luffy minus the 2 Dawn, he does become a 6k. I draw for turn, it is the 3 cost Zoro, and then I go up to 7 Dawn. And unfortunately, this is the turn I would have loved to see the Beer Luffy, which I don't have, so we're gonna have to find some alternative game plan here. What also stinks is that I do have this Gum Gum Lightning in hand, which allows me to minus 2 Dawn and KO a 6k power character on my opponent's board. But the Sanjin Pudding is a 7k power, and purple and black don't have many ways to reduce powers, so I cannot KO that. I could use it to KO the Frankie, which wouldn't be too bad. So, looks like we're starting off with a 5k swing with leader to the Nami that is now already in the trash. A little too slow there. And they decide to let that go. I then play the Zoro. This isn't too bad. I'm just going to go ahead and ramp again. So I'm going to minus 2 Dawn. I get 1 Dawn back as active from Zoro ability, then 1 as active and 1 as rested from leader ability. And that brings me up to 6 active, and I'm able to play out the 6 cost Luffy. So yeah, actually, while my opponent is looking at that, we're going to take a look at it as well, because this is an unconventional card to play in Purple Black Luffy. And if you saw my retro video or you saw the deck list beforehand, I don't have the 6 cost secret rare Rush Luffy from EB02. I don't own that many, I had to find a substitute, and I chose to go with this one because I thought it was an interesting pick. So let's take a look at it. Monkey D. Luffy is a black 6 cost 7k power strike character with 1k counter, and says, once per turn, this character cannot be KO'd by your opponent's effects, and when attacking, you may place 3 cards from your trash at the bottom of your deck in any order. If your opponent has 5 or more cards in their hand, your opponent trashes 1 card from their hand. And so the reason why I threw this card in the deck is because it's a little bit sticky. You know, I can prevent any KO effect once per turn. But more importantly, there's a lot of decks in the meta that like to go plus 5 cards in hand. You know, Green Purple Luffy is one of them, Blue Purple Luffy does that as well. And I'm hoping to take advantage of the second part of the effect, where I can trash one of their cards in hand in order to reduce that hand size. The sad part is they get to choose what card they trash, so most often they just choose a brick. But, you know, it's still nice knowing that they're going down in hand size and you can do better calculations with how much counter they have in hand. So that's why I'm playing this card. It's also a really good stat line, and the reason why I'm playing it this turn is because they have my opponent has a 7k on board. So establishing my own 7k power character means that I can try to fight back if the Sanjin Pudding ever becomes rested. The nice thing is I know that Green Purple Luffy doesn't have too many removal tools, so I know that this Luffy is going to stick on board for a while. I'm going to pass my turn. I have 4 cards in hand, and my opponent's going to draw for turn, and they're going to go up to 7 Dawn as well. They're going to go ahead and start by tapping 5 of their Dawn to play another Sanjin Pudding. That's not great for me. Now they can double ramp off the Sanjin Pudding every time my opponent activates leader ability, so I definitely got to deal with that. They're going to go ahead and use leader ability to minus 2 Dawn and then restand 2 of their rested Dawn as active, and then because of Sanjin Pudding they get 2 Dawn back, so they're back at 6 Dawn active, which is insane. They're going to attach 1 of their active Dawn to Frankie and go 5k to my life, 5 to 5. I have to give a 1k counter here, but unfortunately I don't have it. And I know a 6k attack is coming from leader potentially, so I don't know if I want to counter out here. And it looks like I do. That's not bad. Because I know he has more Dawn active, he could swing higher, which means that the counter would be burnt anyway. So countering out now means I can just freely take this hit. Unfortunately, he only does a 6k swing at me. I could have countered out of that as well, but we'll talk about that in a bit why I did not. I took the hit, and then now they're attacking 7k with Sanjin Pudding. I do not have the counter for this. I would have to burn both of the 2ks I have in hand right now, which would really suck. So what's the option here? Going down to 1 life right now would be actually very scary. I don't have any defenses in my hand to try to live at 1 life. So I think I have to counter here. I'm thinking about it. So actually, while my hand is spread out right there, the reason why I'm thinking about it is, let me go back a little bit. Okay, too quick. Now I do one more time. Alright, so the reason why I'm hesitant to counter is because I have 10 cost Luffy in hand. So let's take a look at this 10 cost Luffy, as it is my top end. Luffy is a purple 10 cost 12k power strike character with no counter that says, on play, don -10, place all of your characters other than this character at the bottom of your deck in any order, then after this turn, take another turn. Activate main once per turn, you may rest 1 don and add 1 don from your don deck as active. And so the reason why this is my finisher and my top end is because I get that additional turn, but because I have to -10 don for that, I want a way to kind of recover my don, and this Black Maria is that answer. So if I have to give up both of these Black Marias right now, I'm going to lose that possibility, which means that the 10 cost Luffy might actually be a detriment to me because I will have to -10 don. I do get the 2 turns and several attacks, but can I really finish my opponent with that, low number of attacks? Not quite certain, so kind of a debate in my head right now. But because they are swinging 7k at me, I think I just have to take the hit. I don't want to go down to 1 life. Oh, I do take the hit. Okay, playing it risky. My opponent's going to tap 4 Dawn and play out the 4 cost Zoro, which lets them look for a purple Straw Hat in their deck. Let's see what they end up picking. Yeah, taking the hit here is kind of risky because they have a pretty powerful board, and they choose to take the 6 cost Secret Rush Luffy, which is very scary for me. They're going to tap 1 Dawn, play out a Nami, and go searching again. Damn, so many searches from Green Purple Luffy. And they choose to take the 0 cost event, which means that I now know they have a 3k counter in hand. They're going to pass the turn to me. I will refresh. My draw for the turn is the blocker Sanji 2k counter, and I go up to 10 Dawn. And so now I could drop the 10 cost Luffy, but I would be in a pretty bad position if I do. So we're going to start off with some small swings here. We're going to go 5 to 4, which my opponent decides to let go with my Zoro. My opponent is at 6k power, which means I have to invest some Dawn into my leader and my Zoro in order to attack. This is why, it's really sad I don't have the Beer Luffy. That Beer Luffy would have changed this game, I think. So, it's unfortunate. We're going to go ahead and tap 4 Dawn to play out the 4 cost Frankie. This card lets me -2 Dawn and then trash 1 card to draw 2 cards. And I end up trashing the 10 cost because I know I'm no longer playing it this turn. And then because of leader ability, I do gain 1 active and 1 rested. And the main reason for playing this card is because I'm trying to dig through my deck to hopefully find the 6 cost Beer Luffy in order to bring my leader up to 7k power. But unfortunately, I did not find it. I did find some counter though, so at least that was good. But now, I kind of have to deal with the board here. My opponent has a lot of cards in hand. It looks like they have 10 cards, 9 cards there. That's a crazy amount. So I know I should probably clear board here. I can't go for life. If I don't clear board, I'm in danger because I only have 1 life. So I would think that I should be clearing board. I do have, I think it's 7 Dawn still. Yeah, 7 Dawn still active. I have a blocker at least, which is nice. I'm trying to figure out, is there a way for me to maybe get more Dawn minus in order to get my 6 cost Sanji to be a 3 cost. So looks like we're going to start off with attaching 2 Dawn to my 6 cost Luffy, and we're going to go 9k at their Sanji and Pudding. I will activate ability to put 3 cards at the bottom, and they have to trash 1 card from hand. And you can see the little disadvantage here. They just get to freely trash a brick, which was the stage in this case. But it is 1 card out of hand. And now they have to decide whether or not they want to let the Sanji and Pudding live. it is going to be 2 cards from them, or maybe the 0 cost event if they want to give that up, which is still 2 cards actually. And they decide to let it go, which is very nice for me. So right now in my mind, I am just trying to clear the board. I have 5 Dawn left. I have enough Dawn to actually clear the Zoro by using the Gum Gum Lightning. And then with 3 Dawn left over, I can play out a blocker, which is nice. So, oh, okay. We're going to start off with actually going 6k to lead, which they give me a 1k. And then I go another 6k to lead, which they take with my Zoro. Then I tap 2 Dawn to play out the Lightning, which minuses 2 Dawn, and I get to KO 6k power or less, so I KO the Zoro. And I leave the 1 Dawn up. Okay, so let's go back and look at that. I kind of went opposite of what I was thinking now. In the end, I still end up clearing the Zoro, but I did it a little bit differently. Looks like I was trying to pressure my opponent's hand, just trying to take cards out of their hand if possible by going 6k with my Luffy and my Zoro, both going 6k here. Which isn't too bad, but you know, it's easy 1k counters out for that. And then I leave enough Dawn up after playing the Lightning for the Gum Gum Giant that's in my hand. I missed it again, but 1 second here. There it is. So I guess I'm trying to leave myself open for more counter. And I have the Gum Gum Giant, so leaving 1 Dawn up is actually pretty good. Gum Gum Giant will let me, you know, trash one of the cards in my hand. It might probably be the Zoro since it's a brick. And then I'll get to draw 2 cards, which is very nice, helping me search maybe for some cards I need or just more counter. So I think that actually works out pretty well. If I chose to go with the other plan of KOing the Zoro, I would go -2 Dawn with, KOing the Zoro with the Gum Gum Lightning. I would go -2 Dawn. I would have 3 Dawn left. And that is enough for me to play the Sanji, the 2k counter Sanji, which I'll put on screen just so you can see how that works. But that means I won't have any Dawn up, and I'll only have 2 blockers. So that's a little bit more risky. I don't get to draw any more cards from my deck. So I think this play that I actually did here is probably better than what I was just talking about. Yeah, I'm kind of liking this more. KO the Zoro, leave 1 Dawn up. Now I can kind of dig through my deck a little deeper, but I still have enough counter to hopefully survive. I pass back to my opponent. They are now at 10 Dawn, which is really rare for a green-purple Luffy. And they're going to start off by... Man, they have so many cards in hand. It's going to be really tough for me to get through that last life. We're going to start off by tapping 4 Dawn to play out the 4 cost Zoro to do a little more digging. And let's see what they find. They find the 7 cost Luffy Taro. Alright. A really good card. Lets them play out 2 bodies for 1. And it works with the Sanjin Pudding. So looks like they're going to use leader ability to -2 Dawn. And then restand 2 of their rested Dawn. And then because of Sanjin Pudding, they get 1 back. They're going to tap 7 Dawn to play out that Luffy Taro. Minusing 1 Dawn. And of course, there it is. They play out the Sanji and Pudding. And they get to draw 1 card because my opponent is at less Dawn than I am. So now they've got a really scary board staring me down. They've got a 7k, 6, 8, 7, and a 6. Kind of crazy. And they're starting off with a 7k swing to my life. 7 to 5. I don't have 3k counter in hand, which is really unfortunate. I know they have 2 Dawn active still, so at most the Luffy could be an 8k swing, but I think they're going to be keeping that up for Giants in their hand as well. And it looks like I'm choosing to play my Gum Gum Giant now. This makes sense because I know I'm predicting that my opponent is not going to swing any higher than 6k with lead, which there it is. 6k with lead, which I can just give a 2k for. So by playing the Giant now, I get out of the Sanji swing, and I got to draw 2 cards to hopefully see, some better cards in my hand. And I do believe I drew the 6-cost Beer Luffy. I'm gonna go back to my turn. I draw for turn, and it was the 6-cost Sanji. Oh, I did not draw the Beer Luffy. I drew the Law. Okay. I go up to 8 Dawn since I did minus a lot of Dawn last turn. So I'm kind of in the same position I was last turn. I'm staring down this really big board. They have a lot of cards in hand, so I just really have to try to deal with their board somehow. And I'm taking the chance here. I'm playing out the 1-cost Law to go searching. There's the Beer Luffy. Wow, he came out way too late. I got some really good cards as well here. The Gum Gum Giant would be another plus 4k counter for me, which is really nice. And it would let me draw 2 cards. I've got another Frankie blocker, which wouldn't be too bad either. So setting up 2 blockers would be good. But I end up choosing the 6-cost Beer Luffy. Okay. I think this is a fine choice. This does bring my leader up to being a 7k base, so that means they'd have to attach more Dawn to their characters to attack at me. I know all of their characters are 7k and above already, but still it means I have to counter less. And yeah, I tapped this 6 Dawn to play out the 6-cost Beer Luffy, which is now time to finally read the card. This Luffy is a purple 6-cost 7k power strike character with no counter that says on play / when attacking, Dawn -2 if your leader is multicolored and your opponent has 5 or more Dawn cards on their field. Your Straw Hat Crew type leader's base power becomes 7k until the end of your opponent's next end phase. So now my leader is a 7k leader, which is very nice. So this is a really strong card for Purple Black Luffy that came out in Starter Deck 26. It's almost like an auto include. Really good card for just, making your leader really big. And then because I did -2 Dawn, I get 1 Dawn active and 1 Dawn rested. I have 2 active Dawn remaining. I don't have a Giant in hand, but I should probably bluff it because I am playing Purple Black Luffy, so I know I'm at most just going to be having 1 Dawn to use. Again, I should probably try to clear this Sanji and Pudding if possible because I don't want another 7k attack coming at me. There's no point of going at his life because he has so many cards in hand. I know I still have a blocker and I've got a decent amount of counter in hand. So we're going to start off with 7k to... Where did I go with it? Putting back those 3 cards. And he gave me a brick. I'm still trying to figure out where I sent the 7k. I would think I'm going out the Sanji and Pudding here. And he gives me a 2k. Oh, interesting. So that means I went 7k to his life. Okay. Well. Did take out 2 cards from hand. I still think I should be attacking this Sanji and Pudding though if I was not. Yeah, I think I went to life there because he did give me a 2k and that makes sense. So if my opponent's at 6k right now, 7 to 6, he just needs a 2k to get out of it. Ooh, I'm deciding now if I want to attach 1 Dawn to the Zoro to maybe do a 6k to lead, but I choose not to, and I'm going to go 8 to the Sanji and Pudding, which they give me a 2k. Alright, that's the best attack I think I could have done this round, so now we've got to deal with this really scary board. My opponent is back up to 10 Don. And I know they have the secret Luffy, the 6-cost secret Luffy in hand, which is kind of scary. They're going to start off by attaching 1 Don to their Zoro. And they're going to go 7k at my Luffy, 6-cost Luffy. Very interesting. I guess this is safe from him. He can try to clear my board first, and then depending on, you know, the remaining swings, he can just poke at life and see what cards he can get out of. But clearing board now means that he won't have to worry about a very strong attack on the clapback. So I have to let it go. I don't want to use my counter to protect it since I know I need the counter for my life. I could have actually protected it and just forced him to keep swinging at it. However, yeah, I don't know if it was worth protecting. Maybe it was, actually. My opponent did go 9k with Luffy at my life, and I just had to give up the Frankie blocker. Did not want to burn 2 2ks to get out of a 9k swing at my 7k life. They're gonna go ahead and attack with one of their Sanjin Pudding, 7k to my life. And now I have to start giving up counter. So I start off with giving up the 2k Maria to counter out for 9. Then my opponent goes another 7k. I just realized I'm using the wrong color, but that's okay. Not gonna go back. I give up another 2k counter. Then they're gonna tap 1 Don to play when you're at sea. You fight pirates to go searching again. They choose to find a Gum Gum Giant. So I know in their hand they now have a Giant and the 0-cost event. So that's 7k power in their hand already, 7k counter in hand. That's going to be hard to get through. And they still have so many Don left active. So my opponent replaces the Nami for the 6-cost EB02 Rush Luffy. Let's take a look at this card because another strong card for the deck. This Secret Luffy is a 6-cost, 7k power strike character with no counter that says if your leader is multicolored and your opponent has 5 or more Dawn cards on their field, this character gains Rush. When attacking once per turn, return 2 of your active Dawn cards to your Dawn deck, set this character as active, then add the top card of your life to your hand. So this Luffy can attack twice right now for 7k, really strong card. So I'm kind of scared of it. They've got so many 7k swings coming at me. My opponent's now going to use leader ability to -2 Dawn and then restand 2 of their rested Dawn as active. And then because of the 2 Sanjin Puddings, they gain 2 Dawn back from their Dawn deck as active. So now they're back up to 5. Crazy. So much Dawn manipulation in this match going on right now. They're going to attach 1 Dawn to their leader and go 6k at my, or 7k at my life. And I give up another 2k, which happens to be the blocker Sanji. So now I'm safe here. I know that, or maybe I'm not safe. Yeah, I'm not safe. If my opponent chooses to attach 2 Dawn to their Luffy, then they can go 9k, 9k. But they chose to pass the turn with 4 Dawn up. So I guess this is good. This is why I had the 1 Dawn up. I was bluffing that I had Giant, but he should have known that I only have 1 card in hand. So I guess, you know, there's an off chance that it is a Giant in my hand and I draw 1 card for my life, so that maybe would have been enough. So I guess it was kind of scary for him. But now, I kind of know I have to go for game here. I've got no other options. There's no way I'm going to live next turn dealing with a 8k, 6k, 7k, 7k, and 2 7ks from the Rush Luffy. So I'm splitting up my Dawn here to see what the best numbers are. And let's see how I do. Yeah, maybe protecting the 6-cost secret rare, sorry, the 6-cost black Luffy that I had on the field earlier might have been a good move because I would have had 1 more 7k attacker. But knowing how how much power they have, it would have been really bad for me to just give up counter in my hand when they can pivot and go for my life. So okay, it looks like we're starting off by attaching 4 Dawn to my Beer Luffy, and we're gonna go 11k to my opponent's lead or life. And they're gonna choose to take that. Okay. So now my leader is 7k. I did do the ability of minusing 2 Dawn, then because of leader ability, I gain 1 Dawn active and 1 Dawn rested. They've got a lot of cards in hand, and I know they can go +7 right now, so at most they can counter... Sorry, let's pause this real quick. I know they have 0 cost event, and I know they have a Gum Gum Giant based on the searches, so I know they can go at least, at minimum, +7k. And their leader is a 6k right now, which means they can get up to 13k. And with my leader, I am a 7k. I had 5 Dawn up, so that means at most I could have attacked 7k, or sorry, 13k as well. No, 12k. Yeah, I can't math. 7 plus 5 is 12. So that means, you know, I don't think I have enough damage to pull through here. It's only 2 cards from his hand, the Giant and the Gatling. I know he's gonna have to pitch 2 cards as well, but because of Giant, he does draw 2 more cards, so the chances of him having enough counter is very high. So it looks like I'm trying to just poke, you know, at his hand here. We're gonna go 6k at my opponent's lead, which they're gonna give up a 1k counter for that. I only have 4k counter in hand, just 2 cards. So it is pretty rough for me. Pretty much game, actually. We're gonna go ahead and just attach 3 Dawn to my leader and go 10k at my opponent's life. I'm leaving the 1 Dawn up again because I have been showing that I have Gum Gum Giant. I'm bluffing it, really. So they choose the Giant here, trashing one of their Giants. And that just means they go +4k, which is an easy counter out. And they give up the 2k to get out of the hit, actually. And then finally, I end up just going 6 here because it's like, hey man, if you got it, you got it. I don't have enough counter. So, yeah, it's pretty rough. And I saw a misplay I did just now, but we'll talk about it after we finish the game here. My opponent's going to start off with attaching 1 Dawn to their Luffy and go 9k at my life. I give up both my 2ks to just take, you know, counter out. They go 7k. And then finally they attach other Dawn to their Rush Luffy and they took the game and I lose. Damn. GG's though to my opponent. It was a really good game. I know it was quite a long one. I'm looking it over. It's at 42 minutes right now. I'm sorry, but this is a new deck for me. And this matchup just has a lot of like Dawn manipulation and a lot of new cards that you might have not seen. So I wanted to just go over every card. There is one thing that I realized kind of now and after the match, but if we go back to the beginning of my turn, I think I could have sequenced this a little better. And this is partially my fault. You know, this is only the 2nd week that I've ever played with Purple Black Luffy, so I am still trying to learn the sequencing for how I should be attacking and attaching Dawn and minusing Dawn. But the first mistake was actually right here. Yep. When I attached 4 Dawn to my Luffy. I forgot that I have to minus Dawn to, you know, get the 2 Dawn back as active and get 2 Dawn back, 1 active and 1 rested, and make my leader 7k. So I have to return my active Dawn to do that. And that really blows. So I lost out on some power there. I could have done 2 Dawn on my Zoro. So if I, you know, minus 2 Dawn. Let's see, I'm at 10. Minus 2 brings me down to 8. And so this could have been a 7k swing. And then I use my Luffy ability, right? At that point, I don't know what number I should really be swinging at here. 6 and 7s is usually what you want to be doing against purple or green purple Luffy. So maybe even just like a 7k swing at life again with Luffy would have been good. And then I can take the 2 Dawn I attached to Zoro here, and that is what I minus. Right? I would get 1 back active and 1 back rested, and in total I would still have 9 Dawn active still. So then I could, you know, spread that out to go for some large swings just between my Zoro and my Luffy. Or because I know I have 3 attackers left after the Zoro, I could have divided up the Dawn, right? So I know this is 5, 7, this is going to be 7. And I know I have 9 Dawn left as active because of minusing the 2 Dawn and then getting 1 Dawn active and 1 Dawn rested. So with 9 Dawn left, I know I have to at least give 1 Dawn to the Zoro, bringing me down to 8. And between my last 3 attacks here, dividing up the 8 Dawn, I could have done... Sorry, we're just going to really quickly give each one 2. So let's say it's 3 Dawn here, 2 Dawn here, and another 2 Dawn here. This would be an 8k. Sorry, 8k. 9k. 9k. And that's using... what was that, 7 Dawn? So I still have 2 Dawn left. I could attach 1 more Dawn to Zoro. You know, bringing this up to 4. Making this... I should just use an eraser, honestly. Making this a 9k as well for 4 Dawn. And then with the 1 Dawn left, I could have tried to bluff another... what's it called? Giant. Or I could have just used it to swing, right? But I know here I can do 9, 9, 9. So that would have probably been better swings for me. Gives me a slightly bigger chance of burning through the cards in hand and trying to get through his life. So it's a little unfortunate that I sequenced it the way I did, but that was the one misplay I saw there. The other thing that went bad for me in this match is that I just didn't see my beer Luffy, didn't see any searchers early on, so unfortunately couldn't establish that. But that's all I got on my end. Hopefully this match was good for you to watch and you learned something from my plays and how my opponent played. But if you saw anything else that I could have done better, or you caught something that I missed, then let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, GG to Kuro TCG once again, and I'll see you guys in the next match. And also, sorry again for this being a longer video. Whoops. Until next time, remember, keep your minds fresh and your spirits free. See ya.